Hello Isorropians, Charlie here. I'm a wellbeing coach with Isorropia, and in today's video I will be taking the time to talk to you about coping strategies. What we will find is that underpinning most mental well-being issues are a set of overwhelming emotions, be that frustration, guilt, shame or sadness. Fundamentally, emotions, feelings and moods are part and parcel of the human experience. They cannot be avoided. And to this end, it will become our duty to learn to successfully navigate them when they creep in so that they no longer throw us sideways and leave us feeling like we're back at square one. And this forms the basis of what we're looking at today. To start off, think back to your own experiences of mental well-being for a moment. Hasn't it been that when you've been feeling at your worst, you've in some way been feeling left overwhelmed with one emotional extreme or another? How did that leave you feeling? How did you end up responding? Did you find yourself managing the emotions productively and proactively, or did you find yourself feeling hijacked and acting in self-destructive ways? A theory that I subscribe to is that underneath almost all mental well-being conditions is a set of painful emotions, the kind that derail us and govern our lives, and a feeling of inability to deal with and navigate these emotions. Again, think back to your own experiences. When faced with these debilitating feelings, we can find ourselves turning to outright damaging ways to cope. These are the type of coping strategies that we use in a bid to avoid, control or suppress our feelings. They're the type of actions we will take in order to numb the pain that we're experiencing. We can easily find ourselves turning to avoidance, isolation, drink, drugs, oversleeping, over or under eating, bullying, be that of ourselves or other people, self-harm, excessive gaming, and maybe even excessive social media use. The bottom line is that it's anything that we will do to help us escape the feelings we're going through in the moment. Doing these from time to time is okay. However, if we make them a part of our regular coping repertoire, then we can find ourselves running into problems. We can find ourselves using the unhelpful coping strategies to avoid tackling a tough issue or facing our uncomfortable thoughts and feelings with no resolution. What we will find is that although these techniques may make us feel like they serve us well in the short term, they won't serve to resolve the underlying emotion, and more so, it will resurface further down the line. They ultimately leave us feeling worse. If we continue to fall into the trap of immediate gratification, we will find ourselves compounding our issues further. We'll add fuel to the fire of shame and guilt and only reinforce old damaging beliefs of being inadequate or worthless. Herein, we can find ourselves tumbling into the cycle of depression, sliding further into our issues without getting anywhere. The good news is that no matter how long you've been mishandling stress, there is always time to change and relearn. It doesn't mean that this needs to stay your method for handling stress going forward. Healthy coping strategies are techniques that all of us can use that will help us to successfully navigate through our current emotions as quickly and effectively as possible, so that we return to a place of feeling all right, a place of contentment. It's worth noting that all of our feelings, especially the painful ones, serve to tell us that something needs to change in our lives or our environment. However, when we're caught up in the emotion, we can often struggle to make sense of what's going on as we struggle to think clearly, and we may feel like we've been hijacked. During this time, we can find ourselves battling with really destructive urges. This tells us that a large part of being able to move through our emotions comes in keeping ourselves safe and grounded whilst we feel overwhelmed. Recognizing that all of our moods will pass, as they always have, we want to make sure that we don't do anything that we might later regret. We'll want to learn to urge surf, and this is where healthy coping strategies can help us to achieve this. Firstly, we'll want to recognize when we're using unhealthy emotional control strategies. Take a minute to think of situations where you tend to use these. Do you procrastinate? Do you tend to avoid discussing the actual issue or avoid facing it altogether? Once we're able to catch ourselves using unhealthy coping strategies, we can start the work of replacing these with better, more effective ones. Next, recognizing that our old ways of coping might have been a part of the problem, we're going to want to learn to tolerate, accept, and let go of our uncomfortable feelings. When we become comfortable being uncomfortable, we'll be better placed to deal with feelings and the stresses that have caused them. When we learn to sit with these hard feelings, we'll have more choices about how we want to face the problem. Once we become more used to it, facing our problems head-on won't cause as much worry. Finally, we'll want to start incorporating healthy management techniques into our coping repertoire. But what do these look like? A huge variety of positive coping strategies exist. However, some of the proven ones are positive distraction, like doing a puzzle, going for a walk, or drinking a cup of tea. Talking to good listeners, be that a friend, family member, or a professional. Self-soothing, including positive self-talk. Relaxation techniques, using deep breathing or enjoying a warm shower, and mindfulness techniques such as deep breathing, grounding or meditation. There are plenty of healthy coping strategies, and each of us will find that some suit us better than others. Personally, when I'm feeling overwhelmed, I like to take myself for a walk or go for a swim. And the same way that I have found techniques that work for me, so too will you need to find those that work for you. When we've mastered using these type of techniques, we will find ourselves artfully manoeuvring through our emotions to a place where we feel better placed to tackle the underlying problem, the root cause. But that's a video for another time. If you've noticed that you've been falling into the trap of unhealthy coping strategies, that's all right. As people, we are naturally programmed to seek out the quickest way to manage, and consequently, it's very easy for us to use destructive strategies to better manage internal anguish. However, you may also have recognised that this doesn't help us in the long run, and it will be our duty to carry these lessons forwards to switch our way of coping. The good news is that this is empowering. Change isn't as far away as we might believe, and the benefits of enacting this transformation are well worth it. I'm going to leave it here for now though, and as always I'd like to end it on a few questions for you guys. Did you recognise yourself in this video? Did you notice yourself reaching out to unhealthy coping strategies? And what healthy coping strategies can you start to work towards from today? Put your answers in the comments section below and I'll do my very best to get back to you. If you've recognised yourself in the topic or want to learn more, do not hesitate to seek a referral to our service. And if you're already a member, don't forget to join us for our live sessions where we can work with you more personally. Until next time, stay safe and take care. Peace.